Hi, there is an update in the John George murder case. I know you're always asking for updates on that. I'm Allison Morris, I'm a crime reporter with the Belfast Telegraph, and today we're reporting that there are concerns in relation to securing a treasure trove of evidence on a phone linked to the John George murder probe. So let's get into it and see what happened. So the development is that a phone believed to be connected to one of the suspects was given to a cybercriminal in England, and they were asked to wipe it. Now you're going, well, why did you just throw their phone away? Well, smartphones obviously contain data which can be accessed even without the handset itself. So GPS tracking, social media accounts, the movements of that phone and what mass it would be pinging against at certain times, all of that can be accessed by the police forensics without owning the actual handset. The cybercriminal was asked to delete all of that and said that he had the means to do that. He wasn't paid the money that he was promised, and therefore he then contacts the family of the victim and said, I have this phone, would you like it? They then go and collect the phone and hand it straight over to the Police Service of Northern Ireland, and that phone has been sent to the forensic labs for examination. The solicitor for the family here, Kevin Winters, believes that there is really significant evidence on that phone. They believe that quite distressingly there are some recordings of the actual attack on Mr. George, but also it could potentially lead to the arrest, question, and potentially even charging of people in this jurisdiction, Northern Ireland, with perverting the course of justice and with attempting to cover up that murder in the days and weeks after Mr. George was killed. So that's why they're keen that police expedite the examination of that phone. The PSNI are saying to us that any evidence relating to the murder they will then pass over to the Spanish authorities. It's believed the family now have a Spanish court-appointed lawyer who is liaison with the court process and keeping them up to date. What we do know is there are 1,300 pages of evidence in relation to this. So we know there are two suspects, and police in Spain have said they've completed their investigation. They're not looking for anyone else in terms of the murder, and there are two definite suspects in relation to that. One is a guy called Michael Malley. He's from the Czech Republic but had been living in Spain, and he is currently on bail. The other one is Johnny Smith, originally from Newtownabbey in Northern Ireland, but has also been living in Spain, and he is on remand in a Spanish prison. Now, let me just say this to clear this up, because I get frustrated when I say the same thing over and over again and then keep reading things that are just completely inaccurate. The reason neither of those men have been charged should draw no inference to either their innocence or guilt. It is because in Spanish law, a suspect is only charged with the crime of which they are suspected. The defendant is only charged with that crime on the day the trial starts. So if Michael Malley and Johnny Smith are to be charged, they will not be charged until a trial date is set, and the first day of that trial they will charge what we put to them. They will plead guilty or not guilty, and then a trial will either begin or they'll be sentenced. It has nothing to do with their perceived innocence. It is just because that's how Spanish law works. The second thing is that there is also an inference that there's difference because one is remanded and one is on bail. Does that have any impact on the evidence against him? No, there's a very specific reason for that as well. Malley cooperated with the Spanish authorities from very early on. Johnny Smith went on the run. Johnny Smith was arrested and had to be extradited at considerable expense to the state of Spain and Portugal. He is considered a flight risk. He will not get bail as long as he is considered a flight risk. That is the only reason that one man is bailed and one man is on remand. If you found loads of evidence against Malley, would that mean it would weaken the case against Johnny Smith and he would be bailed? No, he wouldn't, because Johnny Smith is only remanded because he is a flight risk, because he run, and the police believe if he's released again, he will run again. That is why he is remanded, and the other one is on bail. There's no date for a trial yet. I would expect it to be sometime in the autumn, potentially running into the winter. The police are saying that any evidence that they get off this phone will be passed, if it's in relation to murder, will be passed to Spanish police, but the solicitor for the family are saying, well, also you need to look at the evidence of crimes committed in this jurisdiction as well in relation to this murder or potential crimes. That's the update for now. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Hi.